Breaking news out of Atlanta. The Atlanta Falcons have officially fired Raheem Morris per Adam Schefter. I didn't think this day was coming this quick, honestly. Like, I thought it was going to happen. I figured it was going to happen. If it did, I thought it was going to be like next year, to be completely honest, especially after what's been going on with Raheem Morris. But per Adam Schefter, he's gone. So, the Bright Wolf, Matt Ryan, is going to be the Falcons GM. Clint Kubiak will be next Falcons head coach. Honestly, I hadn't got a chance to prepare to look for the new Falcons head coach. I legit thought Raheem Morris is going to be here next year. So I'm actually very, very, very shocked. I do like Clint Kubiak. I do. I think offensively he'd be a good guy for this team. I just don't know where Arthur Blank's head is. Like, this is kind of unforeseen territory, especially out of all the reports that came out from Adam Schefter. Like, I legit thought, oh, here he is. Raheem Morris is back. He's back for another year, but apparently not, which is I guess refreshing to a lot of people. Like, I'm going through Twitter and everyone's like shocked as I am. And so, like, I mean, I guess you can't put lipstick on a pig. And, like, I guess all the players, I don't know if they knew today or what, because they're all like, we support Raheem. But sheesh, like, it's not a sad day. It's a good day for us. So, like, I'm reading up on here, like, Rise Up Bijan. Let me see if I can share my screen, which, I mean, there could be some truth to this. Like, he essentially said, and I agree. He was like, they didn't even wait until Monday morning. This tells me, like, that Blank made that decision a long time ago. Raheem was just saving face the past month. It also explains why Marquise Williams wasn't fired, which, there you go. Now, I will say this. Raheem Morris, like, dude, for you to basically put your whole season on Marquise Williams and Zach Robinson, I feel bad for you because, like, I mean, it ultimately got you fired. We know what this means for Terry Fontenot, though. Like, he's gone. Terry Fontenot is gone, which is crazy. Oh, I think the Bright Wolf, do you think Zach is going to? I think everyone's gone. I mean, I think if there was a person who were to stay, it would have been Raheem Morris, just because, like, we got reports. Number one, like how, like I said, Adam Schefter came out today, was like, he's likely safe. And then we got reports of basically saying Raheem Morris is best friends with Arthur Blank's son. I legit thought that Raheem Morris was going to be the coach next year. And so, here we go. Terry Fontenot confirmed too. I will say this. This is the fastest I've seen Arthur Blank operate. So this is like, if you're hoping for the Atlanta Falcons in the future, like, he just cleaned house. When did the game end? What time is it now? 8? So he had a meeting with both of those guys after the game ended. So within a 4-hour span, he basically was like, all right, we're gone. So I wish they could get Ulbrich to stay because he was the positive light in the situation. But golly, to be completely honest, I didn't think it was going to happen this fast. To be completely honest, I thought worst case I'll be looking at it Monday. But yeah, let's see. The villain is gone. I agree, Terry. I mean, so this is why I was also confused. So there was another report that came out that essentially said, you probably all saw it. Raheem staying, Terry Fontenot's gone. Well, I heard some other news essentially saying, like, this whole draft, this last draft, was technically Raheem's. And so that's why I thought, I made a video. That's why I thought Raheem was staying, because, like, he's not a great coach, but he's been, like, behind the scenes, like, helping draft, and he's hit on this draft class. And I thought, okay, Raheem Morris at least is staying because he's good at finding talent. Apparently not. So, yes. DC should stay. Yes. Terry gone. Thank goodness. The villain gone. Now find a replacement that's going to be next level. Yeah. Let me see. Let me peep at the coaching carousel right now. Like, let Let me see who's available. I know, obviously, Clint Kubiak. Let me see. Per New York Times. Let's see who's available. Obviously, they said Raheem Morris is fired. Let me see who's available out here. Leave it in your comments who you think, who would you want to see the Atlanta Falcons get going forward. Coaching, NFL coaching. Let's see, candidates. Okay, so they have one, obviously, Vance Joseph. How do y'all feel about Vance Joseph? I'll pop this on the screen real quick. I don't know. Vance Joseph, to be completely honest, this may sound blasphemy. Like, I don't know how much better he is than Raheem as a head coach. I'm not getting disrespectful, but I get Raheem vibes from Vance Joseph. Chris Shula, D coordinator, LA Rams. I don't think they'll do that. Jeff Haley could be, maybe Green Bay Packers. Matt Nagy, maybe. Joe Brady, I know a lot of people wanted. I don't know if is it Joe Brady or is it Josh Allen? We don't know. Robert Saleh will be interesting because that means I'm fully convinced we keep Jeff Ulbrich if Robert Saleh is the guy. So I don't know. This is all extremely new. Okay, I'm reading the comments. Are true. I think, I agree, Mr. Silky. I think there's no way he made this move this fast and he doesn't have an idea. To be completely honest, I'm hearing it, if LaFleur comes out and drops a goose egg or Harbaugh, if the Ravens don't make it, what do they play actually? Or what's the score of that game? What's the score of the Ravens game or when do they play? Oh, they're playing right now. I'm hearing if the Ravens don't make it, I hear Harbaugh may be a candidate. Also, how do y'all feel about Tomlin? Now, there was a report that came out last year basically saying how, Arthur Blank is good friends with the Pittsburgh, ownership and how they found, this coach and how they're, intrigued with Tomlin. How do y'all feel about Tomlin? Yeah. I think he already has a target in mind. Matt will probably – I don't know if Matt Ryan will be the GM. I'm getting the vibe Rich McKay kind of deal. We'll see. I don't know. Start reading tweets, thinking about it. Yeah. I mean, honestly, it makes sense. Legit, I thought he would be here, but you can't get a team that literally could arguably have 5-6 Pro Bowlers to the playoffs, then you should be gone. Yeah, should have been fired week 12, 13. I think a lot of these teams now try to save face, but, it is what it is. I agree, Robert Harbaugh, if he leaves the Ravens, don't know if he will. I mean, depending on this game, the Ravens might get rid of him. Brian Flores, I'm seeing this a lot. Brian Flores. I like Brian Flores. I really do. We'll just see. Because, Brian Flores would have to hire a really good OC. And I don't know, from his tree, who an OC that would work with Brian Flores. Because Brian Flores would get the best out of our players. I just don't know, the vibes, to be completely honest. I like Brian Flores, though. So I hope he's a candidate. The thing also with Brian Flores is a lot of teams like Brian Flores. So I don't know if he's going to be available for us. Mike Tomlin, I agree. I think whoever wins or loses this game against the Ravens and Steelers will be a strong candidate. Whoever loses, either Harbaugh or Tomlin, will be a strong candidate for the Falcons. I think Tomlin would bring stability, and so will Harbaugh. If there were one of the two that I think has the juice for Atlanta, I would obviously say Tomlin, but, I mean, who knows? Kaboom. Both of those losers are out. Agreed. Clint Kubiak, I'm getting a lot of that. I just get worried because they've tried this offensive coordinator not being a head coach before and it hadn't worked, but Kubiak's the man. I mean, I agree. If there were to be an offensive side, if we can find our Liam Cohen, can you believe the Jags are this good? And literally they just inserted Liam Cohen and then they became elite. it's crazy. We need to find another Liam Cohen, which we should have hired Liam Cohen. Gruden. The thing is, I'm reading reports that Gruden might want to go back to college. So I'm for Gruden. I think we need a veteran coach, head coach that's been a head coach, or just like someone like Kubiak, just like an insane offensive guy. But I don't think we need to hire someone that's like never been a coach, figuring it out. We need to move on from that. Ian Cunningham. I've heard of Ian Cunningham. I heard he was like the best thing in line. I'm just interested to see like what they think from our next GM, like who they think stays, who they think is bad from a player perspective. Because there's no way, like, I mean, our rookies are all good this year. Like, who are they going to cut from either a rookie class? Because they have to cut people to fit their people in. So I'm just interested to see their view on like who they think. I don't know. I mean, obviously we have James Pierce, who's like I think top 10. We got Jalen Walker. We got some dogs, but let me get back on Twitter see what's going on. Yep, talking about Matt Ryan, obviously. Tyler Allgeier is probably gone, is what I'm reading. Dang, I'm honestly shocked. And what's crazy is like, if Raheem Morris didn't lose to the Jets, he would literally still be the coach, and the Falcons would be in the playoffs right now. That's just how razor sharp, like how razor thin winning and losing is right now. I hope we keep Jeff. I do too. Born reporters worse than coaches. Don't know football. Yeah, I mean, I think culture is big too. I'm guessing they thought Raheem would fix the culture or just have some juice, but apparently not. Like I said, I think Tomlin, from a culture perspective, would probably fit the city. But I mean, who knows? Like, I just don't know. We must keep Tyler. I agree, but I'm gonna be completely honest. Tyler Allgeier, he said it today. He was just like, I don't know my future, aka I'm out of here, dog. Like, I'm trying to get my money. I'm trying to get my carries. The only thing that sucks for Tyler being in Atlanta is he's behind the best running back in the NFL. Like, I mean, it's just the worst part for Tyler. Like, if he was on any other team, he would be getting crazy carries. He'd be a focal point in the offense. But he's behind the best back in the NFL. And also, he has the worst OC in the NFL. I'm going to go back to the coaching candidates. So, Jesse Minter, defensive coordinator at LA Chargers. How do y'all feel about him? Hadn't heard of him. Clint Kubiak. A lot of people said that's the guy. We'll see. I mean, Clint Kubiak will probably be a good fit. Arthur Smith. Wouldn't that be hilarious if we bring Arthur Smith back? And then Stefanski. Okay, for those watching, how do you feel about Stefanski in this, like, as a head coach for the Atlanta Falcons? Like, I know he kind of underperformed at Cleveland, and honestly, he's probably on his way out. How do y'all feel about Stefanski? Leave a comment below. But yeah, Fontenot's gone. Raheem's gone. Obviously, Robinson's gone. Marquise Williams. I feel bad for Jeff Ulbrich because this defense is rolling. And then I really, really feel bad for Nate Ollie. I mean, he come in, he revamps his defensive line. I mean, the sacks are crazy. And I actually know Nate Ollie. Like, I played for him. And he's a really, really, really good guy. I hate that for guys that come in, like, do a really good job, and still are probably gone. So, yeah. The thing is about Rich McKay, like, he should be gone too. I don't know why he's not. Like, he's obviously – he might be, though, because, like I mentioned earlier, I've never seen Arthur Blank move this fast. Like, even did he fire Arthur Smith this fast? I feel like 4 hours, everyone got fired. Like he had a decision made, which is conflicting reports, and a lot of people said differently. So, owners just sell the team. I wouldn't mind Ulbrich being the next head coach. The only thing with Ulbrich being the next head coach is he has to get an offensive coordinator right. Like that has to be number one. Like we can't miss on an offensive coordinator anymore. Like we see this team with a terrible offense and a good defense still has a chance to compete for playoffs. Can you imagine if we had like a middle of the pack offense? Like, but I like Ulbrich as the next head coach. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, he did. Arthur Blank did come in. Was it Sportsology? Is that who he hired? But the thing is, see, this is why I don't like the media, because a lot of people were like saying he hired them. They all basically said you need a clean house. But then a report came out that was like Blank kind of just shrugged them off because he wanted to do his own thing. Well, apparently he listened to the Sportsology, and they basically told him, clear house, we got to go. The report came out, like several reports. Adam Schefter, usually Adam Schefter's on. Adam Schefter was like, yeah, Raheem's pretty much safe. And then boom, this happens. So I guess the media had no idea. That's why I put in a video a couple weeks ago. Like, this is the weirdest kind of last few weeks because we kept getting conflicting reports. Like 3 weeks ago, it was like Raheem Morris is definitely fired. And then like 2 weeks ago, it was like maybe he's staying. Then it was Terry Fontenot. Then it's Raheem. It's all done now. Raheem's gone and Terry's gone. So should wait until after playoffs. Yeah, I agree. But I also think we need to be the first in line. Like, this team is too talented for us to get, like, I hate to say sloppy seconds, but, whatever. And I think that's what happened with Raheem Morris, too. Like, a lot of people said, we interviewed Ben Johnson. I agree. We interviewed, what's the coach up in New England? We interviewed him. But apparently they didn't want to come to Atlanta. They wanted to go to those different places because I guess we were just not thought of. And so I think we need to get in early, get our guy, to be honest, I think my ideal hire, no one's talking about it, my ideal hire for the Atlanta Falcons is Matt LaFleur. If we can get Matt LaFleur, that will be like, I was even contemplating the other day, do we send picks to Green Bay to get Matt LaFleur? Matt LaFleur would stabilize this team and make Atlanta like legit instantly. So, Raheem is not poor Raheem. I mean, the thing about Raheem too is like he's going to go back to LA, be the DC, and then all's going to be fine with him. And then the Falcons are stuck in purgatory until we find the right guy. So, which is crazy. But yeah, Vrabel. So like apparently we interviewed Vrabel and Ben Johnson, but the report came out that those guys didn't want to come to Atlanta. So we just kept interviewing people. We wanted Harbaugh. Apparently he didn't want to come. And so that's how we sat on Raheem, is like he was apparently he was on like a fourth or fifth option. And so, I mean, I say all this to say we need to get front of the line. We need to get our guy early because we can't keep getting these like sloppy seconds. And no disrespect to Raheem, but we can't keep getting our 4th, 5th, 6th option because they won't turn out in 2 years. So like I said, Matt LaFleur is my guy. I like Harbaugh, Tomlin. All those guys are cultural stabilizers. But I think Matt LaFleur, from an offense perspective, he's familiar with Atlanta. I mean, like I said, I contemplating like, should we send picks? Todd Monken. I mean, I like Todd. I just don't know. I don't know. Todd's kind of, Falcons need Jesus. Agreed. Yeah, I know. Mike McCarthy, a lot of people brought up too. He is a veteran head coach. I don't know. I know Dallas is not in a better situation since he left, but I feel like the trajectory is a little better for Dallas. So I don't know if he's the guy either. Like I said, my favorite is right now LaFleur. If he's fired, which another report came out today that he might be fired. I mean, it depends on who they played. If they bounce first round, which I don't get why they would fire LaFleur, but it is what it is. Like, we've seen crazier things. What's the Ravens versus Steelers score? Tell you, like, the winner of the game, or the loser of the game, could be our top candidate for a coach. Like, between the Ravens and the Steelers, whoever doesn't make the playoffs, they're probably getting fired, and that is number one for Atlanta right now. Golly, that's crazy. Raheem Morris out. Sheesh. I mean, yeah, this, I'm just reading on Twitter, like, Bro Talk, shout out to Bro Talk. He said if Stefanski is fired, I expect him to be a favorite in Atlanta. I know a lot of people love Stefanski. I'm not sold on Stefanski, but I mean, I can see that potentially working. Literally, people are reporting, like, if it's a complete sweep, Matt Ryan could be the GM, which is crazy. Or he could be like that, executive, assistant to hire the next GM and head coach, which, sheesh. Shout out to Matt Ryan. I don't know if he and Arthur Blank had discussions or what, but shout out to Arthur Blank and Matt Ryan. That is crazy. I'm telling you, I am very shocked. Like, I didn't see it happening this fast. I mean, Sports Talk ATL said it, like, SportsTalkATL.com, they said it the best. Raheem Morris is a great guy. Agreed. Everyone that works for him loves him. I think the players love him. He's just not a good head coach, and I'll give a lot of credit to Arthur Blank doing the hard thing and parting ways with a friend, not buying into the charade. That was the last 4 weeks. Agreed. And I think this is new territory for Arthur Blank. Like, it's the first time I've seen him move this quick. So, question for all you. If, with ever, like, new head coach, how do you feel about Penix? Is Penix our guy still? Like, does Penix stay? Do we go out and get another guy? I obviously think Kirk Cousins is gone. But how do you feel about Penix? Late Christmas gift. I agree. Terry and Raheem gone. Dion hired. I don't think they're going to go Dion. It's Penix's fault. Blanks ain't playing. They're really not. Which this is the first time I've seen Arthur Blank this, like, aggressive on something. Which, good for him. Cousins, but Penix is a bust. I don't know. Verdict's out on Penix because my Cousins doesn't look great either in this system. So I think that's a Zach Robinson thing, but we'll see. But we needed this, bro. Agreed. I hope we get to the front of the line, though. We are like one of the front of the people, like, that made this decision. Obviously, the Giants fired, but we need to, like, get super aggressive. It's not like we did last year. Oh, we talking to everybody. No, we need to choose a direction, choose a head coach, interview him, get in the building. Let's go, because we can't play around with this. We really, really can't. Cut, y'all done with Penix? Cut. Dang. Yeah, these coaches, I agree with that. These young players need a coach, not a friend, yes. Raheem Morris has this stigma that he's a player's coach. And like I said, I mean, I guess this is better for Atlanta. I hate to say that. I mean, because, like, if you really think about it, if Raheem beats the Jets, they're in the playoffs. And they might lose first round to the playoffs. But then we would kind of be in this coaching purgatory where, like, Raheem is really not an elevator. And so we'll be kind of mediocre. So I guess this is a good thing. I'm glad the Falcons made the decision. I'm glad they cut the guy. We're moving on. Okay, Penix is Desmond Ritter's not quite better than Penix. Penix might be bad, but I don't know if I like Desmond Ritter better. Yeah, I think the offense just kind of screw things up, and that's Terry. Like, I mean, that's Raheem. Like, also, if he chooses a better offensive coordinator, I mean, he could be in a better situation too. So, which is crazy. So, Bro Talk said, I thought Terry Fontenot did enough to keep his job the past 2 seasons. Who will be the GM of the Falcons? So, here's what I heard about the whole, like, Terry Fontenot did enough to keep his job. He should be the GM. So, what I'm hearing, and this could be total made up, but I think there's a lot of truth to it, is that the reason why Terry Fontenot's last 2 drafts were so good isn't because of Terry, it's because of Raheem. I think Raheem had a lot of influence in this drafts. Hence, it's not a coincidence that Raheem basically gets there and then Terry Fontenot starts like getting elite on his drafts. So I think Raheem had a lot of influence. To be honest, a lot of people said like Raheem being in the front office wouldn't be bad, just helping in the front office wouldn't be a bad decision. But I think Raheem wants to coach. And so, but I think the number one reason, and this was kind of brought to light by like Duke from Dukes and Bells, is like he heard that Raheem did a lot of behind the scenes in regards to like player evaluation scouting. And that's the reason why the 2 drafts have been so good. So, yes, whoever was drafting the last 2 years shouldn't have been fired, but I'm hearing that it was more Raheem, less Terry, to be completely honest. Justin Fields, yeah, that's probably long and gone. I agree. Let's like Penix when he looks good is good. Let's just give him another shot. I sound like DR King sounds like an Aints fan. Agreed. Like I don't think Desmond Ritter's his stats might be the same, but just I don't think he's better than Penix. Agreed. Does Penix get hurt if McGarry gets hurt? I think this would be a total different situation too if McGarry's here. I mean, I think they make the playoffs, but I think that's the issue. Like they'll barely squeeze into the playoffs. And I think that's what ultimately led to everyone getting fired. Like this team is better than a barely squeeze into the playoffs. And like I think with Raheem, even if he had made a few decisions better, if they had the kicker, they still would be like a 9-8, 10 and kind of 17. And this team is honestly way better than that. So, we'll see. Penix can't run. Yeah, his ACL is cooked. Once we get a GM, then we know who he likes. I don't see us getting a head coach first, and then the GM might not like him. Agreed. I just don't know. Candidates, put some candidates in the chat. I haven't really looked. I mean, I heard rumblings of Terry being fired, but I haven't really got a chance to research like GM candidates because I didn't think this was going to come so quick. This was like a Monday, Tuesday kind of thing, but we're here. Penix has skills, but can't trust him to stay healthy. I think the line was terrible too. Also, obviously Caleb McGarry is hurt. I think Jake Matthews is aging. I think Matthew Bergeron has not played well at all. And so I think the offensive line has been not as good as advertised. Obviously, you got Chris Lindstrom, who's, a Pro Bowler, but I feel like he was giving a little more hype to the group. I think the offensive line was very bad this year. Terry and Raheem drafted Penix. I think, like I said, the verdict is out on Penix. I think Penix is still decent. Arthur tired of cleaning house. Yep. Most turnovers and most interceptions is better in what world? Penix is total balls. Okay. I agree. Like the disrespect of Penix is, don't worry about it. There's a lot more issues with the Atlanta Falcons than Penix. We can start with the offensive coordinator. We can start with obviously the head coach. We did lose to the Jets. I think the ultimate demise for Raheem Morris is obviously the Jets. We clearly should have clinched that. I mean, with the easiest schedule, should have clinched that with Week 12. And then for the next coach, low-key, the schedule is kind of difficult because I was reading we either play the Rams or San Francisco next year. And just because we came in, third in division. Our schedule is a little bit tougher than if we would have lost this game. So we basically won for nothing, essentially. Yeah, I mean, if we drafted QB, Ole Miss, Chambliss is the mobile. I like Chambliss, Trinidad. The thing is, like, we don't have that many picks this year. Do we invest in QB again? Like, we will be literally on SportsCenter every day about how dumb this front office looks for doing that. Penix is done, 2 busted knees. If he is, then. But the thing is, a lot of people aren't talking. Matt Ryan likes Penix. So for Matt Ryan to be in the front office, he's going to be pushing for Penix if he becomes in the front office. So if you don't like Penix, I hate to break to you, Matt Ryan actually likes Penix. So we'll see. Penix, aka Derrick Rose. Matt Ryan is the GM. Great move in my opinion. The only worry about Matt Ryan being the GM is the day-to-day. I think Matt Ryan, from a football mind perspective, is really, really good. And I think that's why Matt Ryan should be like what Rich McKay is. Like coming in, having the coach talk to him, calling him out on if he's lying or doing whatever, having that communication with Arthur Blank, making those executive decisions. Like, does Matt Ryan, has he been scouting? Does he know what that looks like? That's my only worry in Matt Ryan. Like, I think just from he needs to be making 10,000-foot decisions rather than we're cutting Ned Carter. We're bringing back this guy. I think having an experienced GM or someone who can do that will help the Atlanta Falcons. I think Matt Ryan needs to either hire the GM, hire the coach, and then really be making those executive decisions. I know, I agree. I hope they somehow find a way. So I think the path to keeping Ollie and Nate Ollie and Ulbrich is hiring Robert Saleh. I think obviously that's an easy path, but I hope they keep Ulbrich because it's hard. I'm telling you, it's hard to pick up a new defense, and this is the third coordinator in 3 years for these guys. I mean, that's tough. That's tough. So I think our defense will regress if we find someone new. I mean, but that's just let's party for it. I agree. Because of Bijan's successes, we believe that all line was so good. If you notice, the majority of Bijan's plays, literally he makes that first guy miss. The guy is in the backfield with him. I think our offensive line was putrid. And I think that's the ultimate reason why Terry Fontenot also gets fired. Once again, somehow he hit on these last 2 drives, which I think Raheem had a lot of influence in. But other than that, I mean, our offensive line depth is depleted. And just I just feel like other than Divine Diablo, which was a smoking move, which I think Ulbrich and Raheem had an influence in, I just feel like the moves weren't up to par, to be completely honest. Phoenix, the knees are cooked. We'll see. Louis Riddick, maybe. I mean, I do like what he says. 2016 was a great team. Yeah, I don't know why. I think people have this kind of non-respect for media guys. So we'll see. But yeah, I think the ultimate demise was the Kirk situation in Penix. But I also think Kirk messed it up for them. If Kirk played decent last year, at the end of last year, I think they wouldn't have had to play Penix this year. This should have been Kirk this year. So, it might have been Kirk, might have been whoever. But yeah, sad day. I mean, literally the whole everything is cleared house. Yeah, so Jordan Schultz. I mean, this Matt Ryan thing is getting a lot of steam, obviously. Matt Ryan is being strongly considered for a high-profile front office role with the Falcons, similar to what Detroit has done with Chris Spielman. The team recently hired Sportsology to do a full organization evaluation, which led to the GMH head coach firing. We'll see what happens with Rich McKay, but ownership has been frustrated with that. Okay, so Rich McKay might be going too. I mean, I'll see it when I believe it. But if Rich McKay is going too, we did it, Joe. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's crazy, which I figured this is going to be like this, but like Falcons Twitter is supporting this. Okay, so here's what Adam Schefter said with Arthur Blank's statement. I have a great personal affinity with Raheem and Terry, and I appreciate the hard work and dedication to the Falcons, but I believe we need new leadership in the roles moving forward. The decision to move away from people who represent the organization so well and have shared commitment to the values are important to the organization. It's not an easy one, but the results on the field have not met our expectations or those of the fans and leadership. Thank goodness. Expectations have not been met. And then R.E. and Marioff, I mean, Terry Fontenot's first round draft picks. Here's where they are. So Kyle Pitts, people say that's kind of a bust, but Kyle Pitts, Drake London. So Terry has been elite with first rounders. I think that's not been the issue, other than Kyle Pitts, who's like the verdict is out on, and then Michael Penix Jr., who everyone says sucks. But other than that, like Drake London hit, Bijan Robinson hit, Jalen Walker hit, James Pierce hit. You know, I guess they were tired. Oh, okay. So I don't know who Ollie Cannoli is. Writer for The Guardian, USA, NFL Scout. This one's big. So apparently, let me read this really quick. Make sure I'm reading this correct. Apparently, so it's per Ollie Cannoli. Falcons expected to interview a bunch of candidates. We know they do this because whatever. But belief among coaches who back-channeled is that they've already picked their guy. Sheesh. Oh, man. So that means, I don't know what that means. It either means to me like they have like golly. They've moved super, super fast. Trade Penix to Minnesota. So apparently, hold on, I'll read through the chat. Apparently, they have that guy, which is crazy. That means either it's not like a guy that's still playing, or maybe it is, or maybe they know someone who's going to get fired, or maybe it's an OC they've had their mind on. But apparently, the Falcons will interview a lot of people, but basically, I'm telling you all, look at that initial list that they release because their guy is on that list, which I agree. So Evan Birchfield prediction, head coach Matt LaFleur, which would be phenomenal. And honestly, if Matt LaFleur, I'm hearing more and more about how Matt LaFleur will be fired, which is crazy. GM John McKay. How do we feel about GM John McKay? I don't know too much about John McKay. I mean, I obviously know what I know, but is he good? Chat, is he good? I mean, it would be like a Rams guy. What would be crazy is like, here's what would be insane. Matt LaFleur, head coach Raheem Morris, DC. Think about it. It would be an Atlanta Falcons reunion to the T. Ollie Cannoli. Who is Ollie Cannoli? He's been going ham right now. So per Ollie Cannoli, which I wish he would have tweeted a little bit of this earlier. He said this firing was coming. Falcons had fillers out for weeks on new candidates. Blank was mad at being sold something by his front office during crossroads of the Belichick Morris offseason. Jeez. So I think dang. So per Ollie Cannoli, Blank was upset about the Belichick kind of thing. And I guess he wanted Belichick, but I guess he I guess Raheem Morris got Terry Fontenot fired literally behind the scenes and on the field. Can you believe that? Yeah, it's a lot that's coming out recently. Let me see. I'm sorry, behind. Zach Robinson's clearly next. There's no coach on this mind that would come in and retain Zach Robinson. Like, I mean, you got guys that don't know football. So that's how much Zach Robinson sucks. It'll be interesting offseason for us for sure. Interesting draft. Yeah. I wonder. Yeah. Honestly, like this team is not that far away, that's the biggest positive of the Atlanta Falcons right now. Like, you put this roster, you put their roster against the Patriots, we clearly have a more talented roster. The Patriots are just better coached. That's really what it comes down to. Mike Tannenbaum, okay. Yeah, he knew he was out. I just wish, like, I hate this whole let's trick the media and trick the fans. Like, if he knew he's out, like, he should have been not saying, oh, like, this is our plan for next year. He hit on a few late round picks. Who? Terry? I think Raheem hit on a few late round picks, to be completely honest. Prime is probably not the answer. Arthur did move very fast. Chat, like, when did Arthur Smith get fired? I feel like it wasn't this quick. I feel like it was the next day, but it's just me. I could be not remembering. Trade for Shedeur, draft Chambliss. I think, to be completely honest, I think Shedeur might be the Browns starting next quarterback, to be completely honest. We need a veteran coach. Agreed. I think LaFleur. But apparently the Falcons have an idea of who they want to hire. They already got their guy. I think LaFleur, the thing is, what worries me about that is, like, they already have their guy. They're just, like, they're not waiting to see who gets fired if they already have their guy. Should have gotten Lamar to college. Apparently they got some issues up in Baltimore, though. We need Ravens coach if he gets fired, John Harbaugh. Yeah, I'm actually watching this game pretty heavy because those two coaches could be the next head coach. What's the score of that game? 10-3. Let's go. I don't know who I'm rooting for. But, yeah, that could be our next head coach. So just watch that game close. Yeah, Belichick. I don't know how good Belichick was going to be. Like, I agree with the whole firing because the team hadn't been in the playoffs 5 years, but choosing Raheem over Belichick. Like, Belichick, I agree, is a Hall of Fame, but I don't know how good he would have been. No, Terry legit could go back to the Saints and, like, help the Saints. Terry is not terrible. Like, he has hit on great players. Yeah, Terry Fontenot will be successful. Another reset again. Terry Fontenot is going too. That's wild. You can't get ahead when you keep. I agree. I just think they were like, might as well keep going. So, yeah, I think he's getting more eager. Arthur Blank, like, and it sucks when you come so close. I think that's the issue. Arthur Blank has been super close to winning one, and then just it's been terrible ever since. And the thing is, he doesn't know how to fix it. I think this move, bringing Matt Ryan in some capacity, helps a little bit. I think Rich McKay need to figure out what to do with Rich McKay, a.k.a. fire him, and then replace him with Matt Ryan, and then watch how things get better. I agree. Matt LaFleur would be my guy. I'm worried because Ollie Cannoli basically said the Falcons already have their guy. They're going to interview a bunch of people, but they already have their guy, which worries me because, like, you don't know if Matt LaFleur is going to be fired. He could go on this generational run, make the Super Bowl, and you won't have him. No, here's my top three. LaFleur, and then I have like 2A, 2B. So LaFleur or Harbaugh or Tomlin. Either one of those three, I think, would send the Atlanta Falcons at least to the playoffs. And then from there, we got to let our players make those plays, essentially. Yeah, I agree. Like, I mean, I'm honestly shocked that they fired Raheem. Like, should he have been fired? Yes, but there was reporting come out, and then this 2 or 3 year purgatory. Like, we have to figure out something, and apparently, firing everyone was the best decision. I don't know, but I'm hoping Matt Ryan takes a position. I hope he's not the GM position, because I don't know day to day if he's dialed in for that. I hope he takes like an executive position. I hope he replaces Rich McKay. I hope they fire Rich McKay, Matt Ryan takes over, and then boom, you go from there. Yeah, you're right. It could be. I mean, they could trade for a coach. So, Matt LaFleur, what would y'all trade for Matt LaFleur? I mean, are you giving up a second, a third? Like, I don't even. When was the last time a coach has been traded for? Like, I don't even know what a good comp for Matt LaFleur would be. Oh, Sean Payton. So they gave up a second rounder. Sorry. Payton trade involved the Broncos sending a first rounder and a second rounder to the Saints. Sheesh, I didn't realize it was that much for New Orleans' third rounder. So they got a third back. They sent a first and a second for Sean Payton. Oh my goodness. Would y'all send a first and a second for Matt LaFleur? I didn't realize that's dang. They kind of, I mean, Sean Payton's obviously their guy, but they gave up a lot for him. That can't be right? Sending a 2023 first and a 2024 second. That's a lot. Yeah, I agree. Sean Payton, I just looked it up. Yep. I agree. Like, Fontenot, you take away the first rounders. Fontenot was good. I'm not going to say, he was okay. He was average. But what I'm hearing as well, like, his last two, that really wasn't him, which I also think led to his demise. I think that was Raheem the last two, helping him. And I think they know that, and that's why they got rid of him. On top of him choosing Raheem over Belichick, on top of him just not going to the playoffs. I mean, we could franchise tag Pitts. I'm not really worried about Pitts. I'm more worried about guys like Allgeier, like low key underrated guys that no one's really talking about. I'm worried about them like going. Let's see what's going on Twitter or X or whatever you call it. Everyone's like, shout out to Sportsology. I mean, I bet they just kept it real. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure out the Falcons should have moved on from Raheem. I just didn't think they would, to be honest, and do it this quick, to be completely honest. Everyone is legit happy right now, which is just crazy, which is good, though. I mean, it is what it is. Like, where's that guy, the cannoli guy? Let's see. Hold on. Yeah, people per Josina Anderson, regardless of the Falcons statement that came out, my understanding is that there are some people in the building who are advocating for additional changes, aka Rich McKay. They want him gone as well. My understanding is this is another tweet. Matt Ryan's voice is already active in the Falcons building. AKA Matt Ryan probably took the job and he's getting after it. I mean, he's getting after it. Matt Ryan could be the who would have thought Matt Ryan is the saving grace for the Atlanta Falcons. So Ollie Cannoli confirmed. Matt Ryan will move into the key decision-making position, most likely to lead the searches. That's what we communicated to the candidates. Matt Ryan is in. So Matt Ryan's leading the search right now. Per Josita Anderson, per Ollie Cannoli, Matt Ryan is basically hired. And so he's leading the searches. I agree. I think Ulbrich, I agree. It was Ulbrich, and sources say it was Raheem as well. I think Raheem and Ulbrich, their scheme, their system got guys. I don't think Terry Fontenot really found the guys. Coach Prime is not coming to Atlanta. I hate to admit it. I like Coach Prime. I got a Deion jersey. Coach Prime is not going to be the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. Cowboys fan is Raheem. Yes, Raheem is good. I think he's a good DC. He's a good talent evaluator. And he's a player's coach. He's just not a good head coach. So, Monken, LaFleur. I like LaFleur. That's what Patrick, that's what I'm worried about. They say they have that guy already. I'm worried. It's like, apparently that's the per Ollie. Like I could show you the tweet. He said they know who they're going to hire. They're going to interview and see if anyone changes their mind, but they know they're going to hire. I mean, Ollie also reported that Matt Ryan's in there making decisions right now, and then Josina Anderson basically tweeted that about 10 minutes later. So, I mean, I can only trust what's being put out there, but apparently they have their guy, Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan should take the Rich McKay job. Apparently, Matt Ryan is in that role right now. Just hadn't been officially announced by the team. Mike Tomlin, if this is agreed, I think it's Mike Tomlin or Harbaugh, John Harbaugh. Whoever loses that game, I think will be fired. I think they know, and that should be the next Falcons head coach. But this is exciting. Like, this is very, very, very exciting. Like, we need this. We need this. Mike Vick, let Mike Vick grow as a head coach. I don't think he's quite ready right now. Julio, I would love to have Julio as a wide receivers coach. Got to keep Ulbrich. Agreed. What he did at this defense, like, basically we turned him over overnight. Matt Ryan and then does he keep Ulbrich? I think that would be the head coach's decision. Honestly, I think if they hire LaFleur, Ulbrich stays too, just because of the familiarity of it. So, like, if you want to keep Ulbrich, you got to hope they either hire LaFleur or Robert Saleh. Great to catch you live. I appreciate it. I know I normally don't go live, but this one you got to get out there because this is crazy. This is really crazy. I mean, this happened so fast. I was thinking like he might be fired. Maybe I got to start this up tomorrow, but no, he's just like, fired. Let's roll. I agree, Patrick. I don't see them choosing so early, but here's what happened. Like, this whole thing has happened super fast, super quickly. Like, I don't think any of this is not really precedented right now. And so maybe they do have their guy. If they didn't have their guy, I just don't think they would have fired them immediately. Like, literally the game ended 4 hours ago, and we got this news. That means they've had a conversation with Raheem. They've had a conversation with Terry. Whatever was said was said. They fired him. They told everyone. Then they released it to the media. All that happened within a 4-hour span, which is crazy quick. So, I don't know. I think Arthur may have his guy. He's just ready to go. Yeah, I agree. I think Raheem had a crazy influence, which I would like to see Raheem in a front office role, but apparently he wants to coach. Like, he likes coaching. So he likes the front facing. He likes, talking to the players. And so that's probably why he won't be in like a executive role. Harbaugh, Gruden. I think the ship is sailed on Bill. I think he'll be staying at North Carolina. I mean, just what I see, like the reports coming out, basically saying like, he's at this quarterback. Things are moving and shaking. I think he's staying at North Carolina. Right. I agree. Since they fired him so fast, I think they know who they're going to hire. I hate to admit it, but like Arthur Blank has not moved like this before. I mean, like I said, he fired a head coach and a GM within 4 hours of a game ending. Like that's crazy, and fired him and released it to the media within 4 hours. Yeah, we need someone with energy, a head coach. I don't know, some old dude. Raheem looked at you. Yeah, agree. Like Raheem. Well, the one game we saw Raheem with the energy, they beat the Bucks, and we're like, okay, is this a different Raheem? But Raheem's going Raheem. Yeah, they could. I mean, owners obviously talk. The thing that what's kind of Arthur Blank has talked many times about how he's good friends with the owners at Pittsburgh and how they basically this is on the internet about how they came to that decision with Mike Tomlin and how he's a generational coach. I'm telling you, if there is a person that they would like to hire that they already know that's going to be fired, it's probably Mike Tomlin because Arthur Blank has such a good relationship with the owners of the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I'm not saying it could be Tomlin, but if they already know their guy and it's a guy that's currently employed, it would probably be Tomlin. See what else is going on. I mean, it's fairly quiet. Everyone's like, shout out to Blank. Put his big boy pants on. Yeah, Josina basically, like I mentioned, people in the building, which I'm like, who's left in the building, are advocating for more additional fires to happen, aka Rich McKay, which, you know, I think Rich needs to be gone. But I think Rich is gone because Matt Ryan's making decisions. That's been reported by a couple people now. So Matt Ryan's making decisions, leading the coaching search. Dang. So Josina Anderson said this as well. Behind the scenes, the Falcons have been discussing resetting their structure for weeks now. So essentially, those 4 games won meant nothing. Terry Fontenot is out as GM, and it may not stop there per league source. I trust Josina. I mean, she doesn't really report unless it's true. Arthur Blank, this is the big thing. Arthur Blank is taking back control of his building. To me, that screams Rich McKay's out. Like, he's trying to get back right, really. I know, and the thing is, like, where there's smoke, there's fire. First of all, why is Green Bay trying to get rid of Matt LaFleur? Like, who are they looking at that's really better than Matt LaFleur? I mean, it could be like Kubiak or someone like that they really have trust in. But there's a lot of smoke around Matt LaFleur. We'll see. Mike McDaniel, maybe. Thing that it's just like you hate to see, even with Matt LaFleur, like even with, let's just say they go Harbaugh or Tomlin, like those guys have had successes, like recent successes. Like all 3 of those guys could be in the playoffs. With Mike McDaniel, like we've seen him at his lowest, and it's not been good for a few years now. And so that's what worries me with like just hiring coaches that aren't really winning. Like they might not win at Atlanta either. So Dayball to OC, Ike to head coach, maybe. I agree. They must have a deal cooked up. I mean, like I said, you don't fire someone 4 hours after a game and not know who you're going to hire or have an idea who you're going to hire. Like we've seen this team, this organization kind of like stumble around and then figure it out, but they obviously know. Let me start a poll for y'all. Yeah, definitely messed that up. Rich has been around for too many coaching searches. I agree. But what I'm hearing reporting is that it's Matt Ryan now. Matt Ryan apparently is making decisions already. So it's Matt Ryan, not Rich McKay. Mike will also be Omar Epps' stat double. Yep. Already has a deal cooked up. We never come out on top unless he's selling Home Depot stock. I would love to get some Home Depot stock right now. 10-3 Ravens. Watch that game. I'm telling you, the loser could be the Falcons' next head coach. We're in the playoffs if we beat the Jets, which is crazy. I kind of think that's a blessing in disguise, though, because, like, Raheem Morris is good, but what is the ceiling for Raheem Morris? Is that 10-3? Is that 10-7? Is that 11-6? What would be the ceiling for, like, LaFleur or something like that? I think it'd be different. I agree, but, like, I know Kyle Shanahan doesn't have as good as a roster. Sometimes, Shanahan has made things work with less than Mike McDaniel has, and so that's why I'm like comparing. Like, yes, I know Tua is terrible, but some of these good coaches have made lemonade out of lemons. And I think Raheem Morris can't do that, but you got to think like LaFleur has done that with Malik Willis. Shanahan has done that. Even like Baltimore, they figured out a way to win without Lamar. So I don't know. I don't know about Mike McDaniel. Yeah, that's must have how it went. They must have called him and like, all right, you're good. Leave. They did that to both of them. They said, right. You gotta think, like, game ended. And like you don't just leave the locker room. So let's say the game is at 4. Everyone leaves the locker room at like 5:15. You got to go to whatever to have these meetings with these guys. Then if you fire them both, you got to write up some media reporting. And they had all this within 4 hours of the game ending. Like game ended at 4, 8, they were fired. Let me see. Let's see what else is out there. I don't have much longer on here, but let me just see what else is on there. Let's see. Like it's a crazy world out here, honestly. Now here's a report that's kind of very interesting. And this guy is controversial, J Ben, but like he do be hitting sometimes. And he said this. I'm told that the decision to fire Raheem was both by Josh Blank and Arthur agreed. So Josh Blank is actually Raheem's good friend, which is can you imagine trying to fire your friend? And his dad agreed, Arthur. I'm told earlier in the year, Morris was asked to fire Robinson, and he said no. Blanks were also upset by wasting the year Bijan had and losing games that they didn't or they couldn't. They shouldn't have, and that was going to be overlooked. I mean, there you go. So, Falcons fans apparently Arthur Blank sees it like we do as well. Zach Robinson should have been gone. Raheem said no. Boom. That's the cake. What else? Apparently, Sportsology provided a multi-page report on Terry Fontenot's missteps. I mean, like Sportsology, all they gotta do is ask the fans. Like I know it's a sports firm, but I could have told you what he did wrong. Also, people are asking, this season we get Joe Brady? Are we getting Clint Kubiak? According to J Ben, he thinks that they go veteran head coach who's made the playoffs before. That's what I've been saying this whole time on here. There's 3 guys I think they'll go after. 3 or 4. I think it will be Matt LaFleur. the loser of the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Ravens. Maybe the old Dallas coach. I'm forgetting his name. But I think it's a guy who's been in the playoffs, head coach with head coaching experience. I agree Raheem shouldn't have been hired, but I think at that point, he was like their only option, to be completely honest. It was between him and Bill Belichick, and I think Terry didn't want Bill Belichick. Like, I think Raheem Morris is the fifth option. Because if you think, I know a lot of people on Twitter is like, oh, we had a chance to interview, Jim Harbaugh. We had a chance to interview Ben Johnson, Vrabel. Like, all those guys declined and then chose where they wanted to go. I just think we didn't have any options. Raheem was our only guy, and then we gave him an extra season because, like, it looked promising, but we ended up falling on our face. Yeah, can you imagine the Packers bringing back Mike McCarthy? I mean, technically, he was their last coach to win them a Super Bowl. So, I mean, there is a resurgence, not only in football, just everything in life to go back to like this retro thing. They could be going back retro. I mean, it works. It works. Let's see what else is out there. So, per the Falcons, the Sportsology group will help assist on their general manager role search, and their ZRG partners will assist on the head coach search. I'm not familiar with ZRG partners. Everyone's like, Rich McKay needs to be next. Rich McKay needs to be next. Rich McKay. It's just funny seeing all these old tweets because people are like, oh, I'm assuming Terry stays. Gone. Literally minutes after. Here's an interesting tie for my Kubiak fans. Former GM Rick Smith is at Sportsology, and Sportsology Group will assist with the head coach and GM. So it could be a inside right there. But I think if the Falcons already know they're going to get, it's going to be a veteran coach who made the playoffs. And it's kind of quiet right now. I mean, people are like, we don't have Zach Robinson's offense. No, we are free of Zach Robinson and Marquise Williams. We are, in fact, free of both of those individuals. The big thing is, are we going to get Ulbrich back? Are we going to get Nate Ollie? I think those two we have to retain. Oh, that could be it. If it's already know a guy, it could be Ulbrich. I didn't even really think about that. Ulbrich could be it. I mean, like, what tree is Ulbrich from? Like, who would he hire as an OC? Oh, he comes from the same tree, like the same coaching tree. So, I mean, it could be McDaniel. For those wondering, 10-3. Baltimore is up on the Steelers 10-3. Sheesh. I mean, golly. Yeah, I don't know. It's just the thing is, like, it's this Atlanta Falcons. I don't know if it's a curse, Atlanta curse. Like, literally the 1 year where the coaching carousel, the coaching like pool is down, we fire our coach immediately. Literally same with the Hawks. 1 year we get the first round draft pick. No disrespect, I like Zachary Ricochet actually. We get the first pick overall. We get Zach. Like, I mean, I guess we gotta be happy, but man, we just be out here, I guess. Spoken like a true Atlanta Falcons fan. Yeah, Josh Frick said this. I hope my read on this is right. I think it's possible Falcons move fast because they've already targeted a new GM and head coach. No reason to wait. Go get your guy. That said, I hope they can get an OC head coach for this offense. Kubiak, Brady, Todd, Monken. Oh no, Skip Bayless tweeted this. Watch blank hire Belichick. I don't think you do that. Like that's just oh man. I think that would be setting the program back. Like, no disrespect to Belichick, but you don't fire everyone to go get Belichick. Sheesh. Tell you, I don't know if Raheem will return, but if there was a head coach that would return as a DC, it would be Raheem. But we're past that point, I think. But I appreciate y'all. I didn't say this. I appreciate y'all hanging with me. Like, this is my first live. I'm out here living life, and I thought today was going to be a normal night. Get some sleep. Enjoy my night. Get ready for the grind tomorrow. The work grind. Nope. Terry Fontenot. Raheem Morris gone. I agree. Like, Belichick will be I hate to say terrible hire because he's a Hall of Fame coach, but literally a terrible hire. But it would be the most Falcons thing to do. Had a guy you basically knew you wanted, you fire everybody to get the guy, and then watch Belichick suck. Golly. Ugh. Rise up, right? And then the Falcons the Hawks are awful. Literally, they play well when they have Porzingis on the. Golly. They play well when Porzingis is on the court, or Porzingis literally doesn't play. Oh, people are saying if I had to place $100 on one bet of who the next Falcons head coach would be, it is going to be Kevin Stefanski. Sheesh. I mean, that would make sense because the Falcons said they already know who they're going to hire. And Stefanski being out or linked to being fired worries me. Like I mentioned, the same thing with like the Mike McDaniel kind of vibe. Like, I don't know if you hire coaches. I know Stefanski has done well, but I don't know if you hire coaches who haven't done a lot recently. Like Stefanski has not done well recently. $20-27 Falcons. The crazy thing is the Falcons have talent to be the Super Bowl champions, which is really crazy. You gotta think, like, look at their team compared to those. I mean, obviously they're better talent. They're more talented than the Panthers, but like I would say they're more talented than the Seahawks. To be completely honest, they just literally coaching got in the way. Let's see. I think that's it from like a news perspective, but I mean, I'm shocked. A lot of people are saying Stefanski. Check this out, though. For my Falcons fans, number one, there's going to be a lot of new content for us, which is great. But check this out. For the Falcons next year, new uniforms. Let's go. New GM. Let's go. New head coach. Let's go. Matt Ryan is already in the building making decisions. And hopefully, we get report that Rich McKay is out. I mean, that's a win, 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 win. Let's go. The thing is crazy though is like Raheem Morris got fired. Pete Carroll should have been fired, to be completely honest. Like he should have been fired. I legit thought Raheem Morris was going to be the coach. All right, let me read through this one last time, and then I'm gonna let y'all go. Enjoy y'all's night. Hold on, let me see. Those are the Happy Falcons Day. Two-time coach of the year. I agree. Stefanski is two-time coach of the year, but like that's also a little bit of the Baker Mayfield effect. Like Todd Bowles, they thought he was an elite coach too until literally this year. So we'll see. How do you lose to Carolina 30-0? And then come back and lose to them again in overtime at your crib? You can't do that. Rich not surviving this go around. I hope not, because Arthur Blank seems very serious, but apparently he seemed serious before, and then Rich McKay stayed. So who knows? Matt will be in the building tomorrow, first thing in the morning. It's time to get this train back on the tracks. Yeah, apparently these decisions, like that's him. This is him making these decisions. So, but yeah, like one last look. But yeah, that's crazy. Crazy what's happening. Crazy what's happening to the Falcons. Yeah. Oh, for those watching, Arthur Blank will speak to the media 11:20 on Thursday. Get your popcorn ready. Let's go. And then Kyle Pitts. So I guess none of the players knew that he was going to get fired because Kyle Pitts basically had a funny reaction to Raheem Morris getting fired. Drake London spazzed out on T.J. Yates today, which is good. I mean, you know, good for the Falcons. Good for Arthur Blank. I know he gets a lot of criticism, but that was a big boy decision he made. Oh. Good for the Falcons. But well, all right, y'all. I appreciate. Let's see. Matt Ryan been a million one. All right, my guy. Have a good night. Yes. Y'all have a good night. Rise up. If something else happens tomorrow, I will be on. I'll probably do another live. But appreciate y'all staying with me, holding it down, watching. If you could do me a favor, subscribe to the channel if you hadn't. I'm just trying to get right. I know the Falcons aren't right. Let me get it right at least. But I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night. The sun is going to rise in the morning, and there's going to be a new day for Atlanta Falcons in the future. But y'all take care. Stay warm wherever you're at, and rise up because the new regime is here. So I'll see y'all later.